Alright, something a little different for you. Now, I know it's an S2000, so that isn't different, but what is different is this car is getting a turbo kit. We're doing a street performance turbo kit, an SOS street performance turbo kit. This is, we're not looking for a ton of power. This is an 04, completely stock, 30,000 miles. We did a new soft top on this not too long ago in one of our past videos, and we talked to this customer. He was interested in making a little bit more power and not a lot of noise. So this car, if you know it, this is an 04. It has non-programmable fuel injection. So there is two options, actually three, but two main options that we offer for this. One is an AEM. The AEM is a plug-and-play unit. It's very, very nice. Works perfect. It's a plug-in. It's ultimately tunable. We do anything you want. Now, if we was to do kind of like a comparison, 0 to 10, 0 being awful, 10 being factory Honda performance, 100% OEM feel, I would put the AEM at about an 8.5. It's fantastic, it works really well. It's not 100% OE feel, meaning you turn the key, you switch it on, you hit the start button, everythth operates as OEM. It's pretty close. That's why I'm calling it an 8.5. Now, what I would call a 10 is the Honda K-Pro. Now, it requires a little bit of extra work. You have to change the ECU, there is a harness change, there is various sensors have to be changed, the reluctor wheel on the back of the camshafts and the crank have to be changed, different valve cover, a few things like that. But that turns it into factory Honda type ECU. Yeah, which doesn't look bad. It looks good against the black, but I'm going to save that for you. We'll save that as a surprise. We're kind of still going back and forth. This is how we plan things out. We don't always put it on camera, but a lot of the time we just sit and stare at the engine bay and come up with a plan, say, well, what about this, what about that? And of course we want something clean and stealth, but we don't want every car looking exactly the same. And having the freedom by the customer to say, just do whatever you want, allows us to do so much more and put more detail into our builds. Sometimes that's what it's about, is enjoying the build as much as giving the customer what they are looking for. So, what do you think? It's still kind of hot. The customer dropped it up about an hour ago. I think we're going to do the Honda first.
That's just one of those things, there's a lot to it, and I want to get it on the car and the car running, and then do that.
And then feel good about modifying it.
Yeah.
That's probably a good idea. It's somewhat of a plug and play. There is some mechanical aspects to putting the Honda K-Pro in there, but I kind of agree. We'll put it in a factory S2000 base map, hit the key, and then if it runs, which you should do, then we'll go on to the next. Then we'll go on to the next thing. Then we'll start making it go faster. Let's try and make it run and then go faster.
Yeah.
As opposed to making it go faster and why won't it run?
Yeah.
So I try and tell people all the time, change your oil. This car only has 34,000 miles on it, and as you see, even after I use brake cleaner on this, this is the deposits that are left in the pan, and this is just kind of sludge and is, you know, not a lot of use. It's not like it's been overheated. It's just, I mean, look, it's like grease. You know, it's no longer really oil. It's like the oil separates. Now this will stick everywhere. It's kind of like it clogs up the oil ways. It's kind of like clogging up your arteries, really. This you'll find it everywhere. So by regular oil changing, you can cut down on this. So I do want to give a big thank you to the follower that came by. He came by and said, hey, I just want to let you guys know I like what you do. And he gave us a PDQ gift card. And George and I are enjoying some chicken nuggets and some waffle fries and a Coke Zero. Thank you again. I wish I had got your name. Starts right up. Nice. Got a check engine light.
Yeah, of course.
Primary heated
go to? Primary heat to go to?
All right, so we figured it out. The ECU is now a PRA ECU instead of a PRB, and it doesn't use a wideband sensor like the RSX Type S. It uses the narrowband, which is what comes in the car. So if anything, it closely matches what the car used to be. Now when we tune with a wideband and then put it in closed loop and let the narrowband kind of trim it, just the way we would any of the Hondas. So that solves that issue, and it also makes us feel a bit better. Now it runs good, so we already kind of started the brakes. We can start on the clutch and start on the turbo kit. Alright, so I'm going to go and bet that this fluid has never been replaced. This car has 34,000 miles, but past experience, nobody ever changes the diff fluid, including when you take it to the dealership and they give you a clean bill of health and said, yep, everything's done. They don't change the diff fluid. I don't know why. It's so easy to do. Now this is a super duper clean car. We haven't seen any issues or anything that could tell us that it's been abused in any way. But it's always nice to see it, and just because it's here, we're changing it. Like we mentioned before, always break the fill loose first, then the drain. That way, if something goes wrong with this, you're not going to drain the fluid out and strand yourself. You can address that before you hit the drain. So you see how dark that is. It's still in pretty good shape, but it's the original. So we have adjusted the brackets and we've pushed this intercooler back about 2.5 inches. Typically everybody cuts this plastic completely out. As you see, we drilled a hole for our inlet and outlet, and that is how much we've pushed the intercooler back. If we left this up front, the grill on the bumper, almost all of it had to be cut out, which we didn't want to do. So by adjusting this, we're going to adjust the pipes. It'll give us a whole lot more clearance, and of course it'll keep the bumper grill intact. So as always, gonna flush the clutch fluid. I've already done the brake. You can see it's a little bit low and it's dark. It's not leaking, but it's definitely a good idea to clean it, flush fresh fluid through. It'll definitely make the clutch feel better. So we decided to just refinish the Sparkplug cover in gold and brushed it, and it kind of goes with the black pretty well, and we usually change them, so we wanted to do it a little different this time. So take a look. So in the middle of a build, we get kind of a surprise. We get a special guest. I don't know if you remember this person. You remember her? She is still with the company. She is working remotely, I promise.
Yes.
And we kind of decided, we made kind of a, I don't know, kind of a decision that you would say remote, because the less people in the shop, the less people she's exposed to, and she can't put the kids in daycare. 2 kids, twice as many issues and chances. So we're trying to be safe, but we figured we would kind of show Esther back. She's keeping in the loop.
Working out the bugs, you know.
Working out the bugs. Also, we're doing something different. We're doing a turbo kit on an S2000. She wanted to kind of know a little bit about it, and you know, just so she would answer questions and know what's involved. So she is here looking at this, and learning what goes on.
Yep.
So you know the difference between a widget and a wadget?
A widget and a wadget and a thingamajig and
Yeah.
a whatchamacallit.
Yeah, a lot of
got it.
technical terms were thrown around just to make sure everybody's on the same page. All right, we'll see you soon, Esther.
Yes.
Say bye to everybody.
Bye.
She might be on again. So we're all running up to temperature, everything's bled out, everything is good, fluids are checked. Now time to change the injectors, so we're gonna put the 1000cc injectors in, the 4-bar map sensor, and the fuel pump, which everybody knows is about here. I guess so many people watch our videos, they have realized how much fun it is to do a fuel pump. First thing you gotta do, press that button, and then you gotta start taking panels apart in here. Oh, look at that. Wow, George, we got some more gift cards. Yeah, this is completely organic, by the way. Wow, 50 bucks. 50 bucks.
That's a lot.
Look at that. There's one to John and one to Esther. Oh, look at that. George never got one.
I didn't get one?
No, it just said John and Esther. So this was he just dropped this by mistake. That's awesome. That is so nice. So yeah, we all have one each. That is fantastic.
That is. It's awesome.
Really? So time to take those panels apart and chase the fuel pump and drink 150 of them. That's a lot of coffee.
That is a lot of coffee.
Even at Starbucks prices, that's a lot of coffee.
That's 3 a card.
Yeah, it really is. So, of course, let's take this apart. I'm not going to show you the whole procedure. I always cringe pulling these out because one time, long time ago, I pulled it and it broke. It's kind of like that one time where you touch a flower and it bites you. For some reason you never forget. I don't know where I came up with that analogy. So real quick, I'm going to move because I got the big fan behind me, but pulling the interior out and get out of the way of the fan. It is so refreshing when a car has never been taken apart because all the clips are there. Somebody didn't take it apart and snap the clips and lose half of them. And it comes out like a dream, which just makes our job so much better. Look how clean this is. This is the one that we usually sit and scrub and hit it with some interior dressing when we're done. Well, this just looks like brand new, but I just wanted to show you that. Look at that, all the clips are in here, all 4 across here. And then where this clips in, this has 4 clips. These are the push clips. And usually people don't know how to take them out and break the clips. So just wanted to share that with you. All right, so this is what the fuel sending unit looks like when it's removed. This is the factory pump. This is the Walbro. This is our favorite pump. It's pretty much the same dimensions as you see. It's about 1/4 of an inch longer, but basically by trimming this hose just the difference of the length, it fits right back in. It fits back with the same rubber holder, and of course the clip, the snap-in clip, goes back in. So still our favorite pump to date. All right, so pump is done, but I can't cycle the key because George just took the injectors out for some reason. So it's all back together, all nice. I'm not gonna put this back until I actually run the pump. Long time ago, I put a pump in, put it all back together, and there's a little plug in there. Forgot to put that plug back in, hit the key in, and got that sudden sinking feeling. I'll pull it all back apart again. So ever since then, I just like to get that audible fuel pump sound. What we're gonna do now is the 1000cc injectors. Gonna just double check them on our little machine. Always like to get them as close to balanced as possible. Makes our job easier, also makes the tune better. Every injector will always flow a little bit different, but if we can get 4 that matches almost perfect, makes our job much easier. Takes a few extra minutes right now. Do medium. Just go the other way. No, the other one. What is that on medium? Yeah. That's just running them wide open.
Yeah.
Getting 1, 2, and 3 look absolutely perfect. All right, so this is our final 4th that we're happy with. We've gone through and matched everyone. We've had really good success with the supercharger kits, and we're going to be doing some different supercharger kits as well. We've got a couple on the books to do, but we're going to experiment with this car. We have a couple more to do, but this if it goes to plan, I don't want to speak too soon, but this could be the next big thing for us, because I think it's what the car needs. The linear power band is great on a blower, but having more down-low power, and of course quieter. I mean, listen to that. It's a stock exhaust. It sounds just like a factory forced induction car. It's smooth. I want to tune it to get the trims absolutely perfect, to get good gas mileage. It's still running the factory exhaust system and catalytic converter, so we want it to be clean. We want it to sound quiet. We don't want it to, you know, have any funny smell. So this might just be the ticket right here. How much boost are you running?
All of it.
A lot?
I don't know how much boost it's going to take to fill this tire, but I know how much I'm going to use.
Alright, so real quick, I'm just adjusting the clutch pedal. One thing I noticed, you see the button there, it's already starting to break off. Can you see that? See that? It's going to break off, and that is the safety start. So we need to make sure that we replace. We've shown this on past videos, but this little button, when it falls apart, it typically looks like this, and you'll see it on your floor mat. If you keep your car clean and you look down and you see little bits of kind of like a creamy white plastic that's really brittle, it's usually one of those buttons. All right, hot day today. Look at that, 100 degrees. Gotta love Florida. But like we say, it will make good safe power at 100 degrees. It's only going to get faster when it cools down and gets some nice cool air behind it. So we've already spent some time braking in the clutch. We're going to go over the drivability, then we'll start doing some light throttle pulls, see how close we are, keep track of the boost and timing and air fuel, that kind of good stuff. But I'll show you a couple of runs along the way. This is like ideal conditions to dyno. At least we're inside, right? We're looking for was power down low. Now, first off, look at that torque. 305, that's usually the torque we make at 450 wheel horsepower. But the good thing is, there's 305 foot-pounds of torque. Follow this down. It's 5,000 RPMs, 4,500 RPMs. 4,500, we're making 305 foot-pounds of torque. In fact, there it is right there, 4885 is the peak. This is going to feel like a V8, and it's going to be quiet because we're running the stock exhaust and stock cab. This is a customer that doesn't want a lot of noise, doesn't want a lot of drama, doesn't want to sound like it's a modified car. This is stock exhaust. This is stock cab. Right into the downpipe. So this is a comparison against a tuned 07 that we did, 223 to the wheels, 155 torque. Just wanted to kind of show you the amount of power that it's making down low. Look at that. 5,000 RPMs. Stock one is making 140 foot-pounds. This is making 305. This is going to feel like an absolute rocket. And it's quiet. So from this front, you should be able to hear how fast the boost comes on. It comes on real hard. Watch this. Alright, so I know we make you guys jealous in the winter times when we're gloating about it being 65 degrees in winter. What are we looking at right now, George? What's the temperature?
101 in here.
101, are you guys jealous? And it's not just 101, it's the Florida humidity, which is probably about 110. That's one thing in Florida we have, is a ton of humidity.
Tune with AC on.
I know, that's the beauty in it. 350 horsepower. Ice cold AC. Go ahead, Parkman, a couple times. tell the SC's running. Look how cool George looks.
Yep.
All you need is some aviators, and you've got it made in this car. All right, let's take this thing for a quick test drive. Verify everything is good. Good thing about running this thing in the bacon hot is that you know it's good. It's something we want to torture test before the customer gets it. We always do a lot more here than the customer would more likely do. But it's peace of mind. We want the customer to go out and have fun. We don't want him to, you know, experience a problem. If he's going to have a problem, we want it to happen here. All right, so I've got to take you for a ride along. I just took this for a ride. George drove it. I drove it. He goes, you got to drive it. I took it for a roll. It's impressive. Now, first thing, power has so many different feelings. I mean, the Kraftwerk's cars do 400 plus. This does 350, but I can tell you, it feels a heck of a lot faster than 350 here. It's hard to share because the way the power comes on, to me, it feels like a V6. And it's all down low. Like there, I mean, he's shifting out 4 grand, it's already pushing me in the seat.
Yeah.
It almost feels like that LS swap car we did, but just quiet. That's the other thing.
Not rattling
it doesn't make any noise. It's a weird feeling. I get this feeling when I drive a Corvette, but not when I get an S2000 out. They tend to pull and pull and pull. You can see the horsepower graph on a Kraftwerk's car, and they will rev to the moon and pull the whole way. This thing's giving you 300 foot-pounds at 4,500.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
We're scared to do it, that's why I just don't try.
Yeah, I did. I kind of eased into it, but just... And again, it's quiet. That makes it so much more impressive to me. So this is going to be one of our other options. This we're going to call our street performance turbo kit. It's as close to OEM S2000 as you can get. Tons of power, tons of torque, absolute blast to drive.
The only thing making noise in it is the injectors. The bigger injectors make a little noise.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's the noisiest thing in the whole car is the injectors.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to give you a quick rundown, this is the GT 3076 Turbo. We're running 13.5 pounds of boost. It peaked at like 13.8, and we're making 350 to 30, end up making 307 torque. We're running the stock catalytic converter and the stock exhaust. All of the emissions are all intact. Now, this kit with a better cat and a better exhaust, I think it'll do 400 pretty easy at about 15.5 pounds. We also have a bigger turbo version, a GT 3582. This is the thing on this kit. It's designed to make a lot of power down low and to be a very streetable kit. For our high horsepower stuff, we've got a couple of 500 horsepower builds coming up. We're going to be using the full race kit for that, just because it makes the power very efficient. We can make 500 horsepower at like 17 pounds. It's much more efficient, and that's what we're going for. We're not trying to stress the engine and put any more boost in the engine than we need. We're looking for efficiency, we're looking for longevity, and we're looking for a nice car to drive. I don't want to turn these things into a monster where they're just like a, you know, just a handful all the time. It wants to be fun and enjoyable. So the customer is here to take this for a quick drive. He's going to take for a drive and then give us his impression of what it feels like, what it sounds like. And he's kind enough to go on film. That's exactly how you drive an S2000. They're so much more enjoyable with the top down.
Yes, they are.
So we're doing another one similar, a little bit bigger turbo, GT35R, a little bit changes, but this is going to be one of our options. We love this kit so much. This is going to be an option. Get a hold of us, let us know you're interested in the LHT Street Performance Turbo Kit. Now let's go see the customer when he comes back. Is that different?
Wow. I mean, it's got so much more power than I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
And at the low end, like you were
At its low end, it's right off idle.
And the sound, I love the sound.
Yeah. It's not annoying, it's not loud, it's just a bit of a whooshing sound from the turbo, but no exhaust sound.
I gotta tell you, John, my son was trying to talk me out of this mod.
Was he really?
He said, leave it stock, you're gonna regret it. And I started to have second thoughts.
Yeah.
And now I'm so happy that I did this.
Awesome, I'm so glad.
And so any of you that are on the fence, get off the fence, live life, and get this done.
Awesome. I knew you would like it.
I love it.
This is, I'm telling you, watch our videos, you're gonna see more of this. Once people drive this package, once they experience it, it changes everything. It really does. Your dyno sheets roll in the seat. I don't know if you got to take a look at those. I printed you 2 copies just in case, but thank you so much. Thanks for making the trip, and thank you for the business.
John, thanks.
Thank you.
George, thank you.
This is the new handshake.
See ya.
And the beauty of it is it's quiet.